It's going. Okay. So what I want to teach you guys tonight is a relaxation technique I learned in 1993 at Virginia Mason Hospital in Seattle when I was in treatment from a doctor that we call Dr. Sleepy because sometimes this will make you go sleepy. Uh, his name was actually Dr. Rainey. Um, and I can tell you that practicing these techniques, it takes a while for it to have the great effect that's coming. You'll notice an effect right away. You're going to be calmer, you're going to feel better. Usually by the end of the session, the comments that I get are, wow, I've never been this relaxed in my life. Those are the typical comments. So you can expect that to happen today. And what I noticed was after about 6 months of practicing this fairly regularly, almost every day, um, honestly 4 or 5 times a week, not every day. After about 6 months, there was just kind of this, kind of got over a hurdle where it became automatic and the benefits were just huge. This kind of stuff is going to give you much more control of your own mind. It's going to give you much more control of your own emotions. It's going to give you a really strong tool for relaxation. And again, this is the technique that for me replaced pot, it replaced alcohol, it replaced Xanax, which you know is my favorite, probably, right? So this is the thing that replaced those. All right? Are we ready? Okay. There's kind of a three-pronged approach to relaxation. Yeah, move around. After we get, after I get through kind of the directions here, um, you won't need the board at all because you'll be sitting, relaxed, and eyes closed and stuff. So, in the heading of relaxation and meditation, what we do is 3 different things. We're going to do, and we're only going to do the 2 tonight. We'll tap into this just a little bit. But what we're going to do is a tense and relax exercise. It was created by a guy named Jacobson in the, I don't know, 30s or 40s or something. It's often called Jacobsonian tense and release. And essentially what we're going to do is we're going to tense our muscles and tense them a little harder until they get a little bit exhausted. Then we're going to release. We're going to let our hands, feet, body fall where it lays. We're going to notice how we feel, and then we're going to move on to another section of our body. Okay? Yeah, if you feel like writing it down, that'd be great. That'd be great. I know you love to take notes, so yeah, do.
That's how I was person.
Yeah. So we're going to do different sections of the body. We're going to start with. So if here we'll do a real rudimentary body here. We're going to go from the knees down is going to be section 1. We're going to do thighs and hips, section 2. We're going to do torso, section 3. We're going to do chest and shoulders, section 4. We're going to do hands and forearms, section 5. Section 6 will be upper arms and shoulders again if we want, because we keep a lot of tension in our shoulders. Your body stores anxiety in your muscles of your neck and of your shoulders quite a bit. And then we'll do 2 different things with our face to stretch out those muscles and to relax those muscles. Okay. The idea here is our body gives our mind feedback. If our body is relaxed, it's going to tell our mind to relax. It's a closed loop system. And if your mind tells your body to relax, your body will relax too. Okay? So the idea is to stop the anxiety and stop the tension by one of those 2, your mind or your body, relaxing. And what I like to say is the tense and relax exercise gets your body out of the way so that your mind can start to relax. Okay? That's essentially what we're going to do here. Okay? So think of your muscles as little springs. Okay? And as you go through life and get more and more tense from your job, from just the stress of life, from kids, from whatever's going on, loneliness, boredom, whatever that stress is, those springs are becoming tighter and tighter. So your muscles are springs. They get tighter and tighter. So this exercise is going to pull them a little bit and pull them out so that when you release them, they're not going to go back to the same position they were in before. They're going to be just a little more relaxed than they were before. And because your body will feel a little bit differently than it did before, it's going to send different signals to your mind than it did before. So your mind will know your body's in a different state, in a more relaxed state. Okay? All right. Questions? All right. Guided imagery is the second thing. This is what we use to relax our mind, to get our mind out of the way. Now, you're probably familiar with guided imagery a little bit because at some point you've heard somebody say, imagine yourself on a beach. Imagine yourself just relaxing and hear the sound of the ocean and, feel the wind and hear the seagulls, right? Well, if you burn very easily in the sun, the beach is probably not the place you want to go. You probably don't want to go relax on the beach if your skin's real sensitive and you're going to get a sunburn, or if your eyes are really sensitive to light, okay? So the beach isn't always the place for you to go. Okay? So I want you to think about your favorite nature scene. It might be the beach, but if your eyes are sensitive to light, maybe it's a forest. Maybe it's the forest in the northwestern United States in the whole rainforest. Maybe with trees that kind of block out the sun a little bit. Maybe the sun filters through. You can smell all the plants. Okay, feel a little bit of wind. Okay, if you're an Eclipse fan, is it Eclipse or what's the
Twilight?
Twilight. If you're a Twilight fan, did you like the forest scenes up there? Not so much. Okay, so maybe
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet.
okay. So maybe it's a forest. Maybe that's not quite it. Maybe you want a tropical rainforest or a tropical paradise. Maybe you don't want it in the whole rainforest in Washington that's cold and rainy. Maybe you want it in Hawaii where there's a waterfall and a pool and you can swim in it and there's beautiful flora around with pretty colors. Maybe that's a place you want to go. Maybe Hawaii's too hot for you. Maybe you just want an open field of wheat in Kansas, or the grasslands in Montana. Maybe it's soothing for you to be in a place like that where you can see for hundreds of miles. Okay, so start thinking about the scene that, for you as an individual, you may like the best. Let's say the open field isn't exactly what you want, but you love seeing the mountains in the background. Maybe you're at the foothills and you're looking at the mountains. Maybe you're in the mountains and you're looking at snow-capped peaks, maybe some fir trees up to the tree line. Maybe there's a lake. Okay, think about places that you've been that were really peaceful for you, or imagine if you've never been to a nice, restful place like this. Imagine what you would like, what would be perfect for you as an individual, because everybody's going to be just a little bit different. Okay, and the one requirement is it's got to be a nature-made scene. We don't want a man-made scene like in a city or with buildings around, and the reason is this: architecture has an effect on our mind and where we go when we do guided imagery. It's going to be much more beneficial if you find a nature scene to go to rather than to your house or to a building or to a park where there's buildings around. You're going to be influenced by the architecture that's around there. So for guided imagery, for relaxing, for really getting to that deep level of relaxation, a nature scene is definitely the way to go. Okay, so let's make it a nature scene. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to start adding visual things, kinesthetic things, and audio things, not necessarily in that order. So I'm going to have you see as many details of that scene as you can possibly see. I'm going to have you feel things like the temperature, how it's a perfect temperature, just that temperature you like, not too hot, not too cold. Okay? I'm going to have you visualize the sky being that perfect shade of blue, that kind of shade of blue that you really love. I'm going to have you imagine the sounds, the birds, maybe the ocean, maybe the wind, maybe a waterfall, maybe the wind through the wheat. I just realized that's probably pretty loud. Okay. Wind, maybe birds, maybe happy, cute animals. Okay. In your imagery scene, we don't want to have any dangerous animals. Um, we don't want to have any insects, right? In general, we don't want the icky animals, right? We want the nice animals. If there's a deer, it's a friendly deer. You can go up and pet it. If it's a rabbit, it'll actually come up to you if you want it to, and you can pet it. You know, it's not going to bite, right? Because this scene has got to be one that you create to be a safe, happy place. Nothing bad can happen to you in this place. It's perfectly safe, and it makes you happy, you as an individual. Okay? So that's the basic idea for that. The next step that we'll do just maybe a minute of, because it's hard to do and it does take some practice, is silent meditation. The idea of sitting still and being completely silent for an hour. How does that feel to you? Your eyebrows going, huh?
An hour?
No.
Yeah.
An hour? And Jeff's going,
I
no,
don't
I'm
know if I
already
can-
asleep.
Yeah, I don't know if I can do it.
Right. Very hard to do. We're going to do like a minute and a half, and it's going to seem like 10. Okay? So we're going to do 1 to 2 minutes of this. And there's a couple of techniques that I use. Once we've relaxed our body, then we can go to this and relax our mind. Once we relax our mind, we can go to this to relax our spirit and listen to that inner person within that's trying to talk to us. That little kid within that has that wisdom from our childhood. This is where I go to listen to God, to what He's saying to me. And that's just my God. So your God, your nature, your universe, whatever it is that speaks to you, if we get these things relaxed, then that inner being can speak to you. Okay? A couple of techniques that we use to clear our mind out. One is the Golden Gate Bridge idea. You've all seen pictures of the Golden Gate Bridge, right? And there's a couple different places you can watch cars go across the bridge from there. There's one over here and there's one over here. You pick one and you imagine it there. And anytime that there's a thought that comes into your mind, you put it into a car. And you let it drive of its own speed across the bridge. So when you first do this and you put that thought into the car to let it drive across the bridge, and it's going 50, 55, what's the speed limit on the Golden Gate? 55 probably, okay. You let it go at its own speed, and it's 1.5 miles across there. So it takes a minute for it to get all the way across until you can't see it anymore. So the idea there is you've relaxed your body, you've relaxed your mind. Now these extraneous sentences come into your mind. Did I feed the dog? Did I turn the oven off? How late am I going to be here tonight? Should I have left the light on? I've got schoolwork to do. I've got to get this done. Oh my God, I got to get another job. I hate my job. Whatever it is. Yeah, okay. You're already seeing those extraneous day-to-day thoughts. What am I going to eat for dinner tonight? Do I need to get groceries on the way home? Maybe I'll just have a Subway. Ooh, I'm going to order a pizza. Those mundane thoughts of the day are still going to be in there, even after we've relaxed our mind and taken the steps down to relax ourselves for silent meditation. We're going to put those in a car, let them go across the bridge. As you do this more and more, you'll have fewer and fewer of these thoughts. And so what was a steady stream of traffic, after practicing this for a while, becomes less and less and less until it's a really slow stream of cars. And what I find is those thoughts that are left over after I've relaxed my body and my mind, those thoughts that are left over are to me um, guides, guiding words from God, from, um, as the Celestine prophecy says, from your guiding spirits, your ancestors or other people that are in the spiritual world that are helping to guide you along, that are clearing your path for you. All those things that happen that show you that God is doing for you what you can't do for yourself. Um, maybe the voice of ancestors. Maybe it's just that voice of that person deep within that's really the essence of you. And these things that are left in my mind are things that I've needed to hear from my youth. Good job, Bob. You're on the right path. You're doing the right thing. I love you. Um, keep up the good work. You know, occasionally with let's watch some baseball tonight. You know, stuff like that that comes in there every now and then. Okay, so that's one technique. The other technique is a very similar thing. You imagine yourself walking into the ocean. So you walk in and you sit down on the bottom of the ocean. Here's me sitting on the bottom of the ocean. There, how about that? Okay, and when I look up, there's just enough light that I can kind of see the sparkling of the sunshine come through the water, but it's far enough up there I can just barely see it. Okay, and instead of putting my thoughts into a car to go across the bridge, I put my thoughts into a bubble that raises gradually and then pops at the top of the ocean. So um, this one I did for a while. I found just for me, for some reason, this one worked better. I don't know why. But this one's a fun one to do. So any of those extraneous thoughts, put it into the bubble. Just watch it go. Let it take 30 seconds until it gets up there and you can't see it anymore and pop, it's gone. Okay. So, and again, we're just going to do this for a couple of minutes to see how it goes. And, these are the two that I really want to focus on. So, like I said, we're only going to do this for a minute. So, this will take about, it'll take about 45 minutes. Okay. This will take, maybe 20, 30 minutes. We're going to slow down and take our time. Okay. Anybody have anywhere they need to go in the next 45 minutes? Anybody have anything they need to do in the next 35 minutes? 45 minutes? So this is the time that you're taking for yourself. The rest of the world can take care of itself for the next 45 minutes. Whatever you're worried about or concerned about, you can take care of it later. But during this 45 minutes, it's just for you to learn some new techniques. Okay? Questions?
I have a question about the second part,
Okay.
guided imagery. When I picture that, can other people be with me, or am I by myself?
It depends. You can certainly do it either way. I always start off by myself with the thought that I don't want to be influenced by other people's expectations of me. I don't want to be influenced by any other human being who may be influencing what I'm thinking or doing, or even if I'm thinking about you, I love you so much, but then I'm thinking about you and what I can do for you on, in my open field in the woods, rather than taking care of me. So I prefer the alone. And what does tend to happen is people will appear in there. My mom will appear, and there'll be something that comes to mind that I need to do. I'll just kind of make a note of it, and then promise her in my vision that I'm going to take care of that thing, and then usually they just kind of disappear.
You just put her in the car then?
Yeah. Put her in a little bubble under the water.
Yeah.
Get across the bridge.
Yeah. I will ask that person if the plan that I have is good enough and if that will work. And if they say, yeah, that'll work, almost all the time they disappear, they move on. I've had Jesus appear with me at different times. I've had I've had teachers from my past appear there and like just say nice things. Um, I've had other people that I went through recovery with appear there. My two sponsors, Dick V in Seattle and Harry James E in Philadelphia, will, pop in there and it's like, oh, Harry, I've been doing my 4-step work really, So if other people appear there, that's probably okay. Um, find out why they're there. Again, this is your mind, so it's not their mind. They didn't, teleport from where they're at to into your scene. This is your mind bringing it up for some reason. So you might want to talk to them and find out why, in your mind, this image of them was brought up at that time. So that's a good thing to do. Okay, other questions? Other questions? Are we ready? Okay, all right. So this is what we're going to do. I want to make sure this is still going. Yeah. Okay. So, okay. Do you want to take this chair so that you're my other demonstrator on the video?
Yep.
Okay. And you guys aren't on the video at all, so don't have to worry about that. So, here's some of the basic things about starting off here. We want to be symmetric. So this side of your body wants to look like this side of your body, because what we're doing here is we're unifying, we're integrating you. So we don't want you to have one arm up here and one arm down here, because then you're creating for yourself an out of balance body. Okay. Whatever's comfortable for your feet. For me, having them on the edge is a little more comfortable than having them flat. I always say you're supposed to have them flat on the floor, but it really has to do with what's the most comfortable for you. For some people, it's more comfortable to be like this than it is to be like that, but however you want to feel comfortable. So think about the most comfortable position that your legs can be in, okay? And comfortable position for your body, okay? And remember, we're going to be tensing or releasing, so think about where your hands will fall, where your legs will fall as we tense and release, okay? I always recommend that people close their eyes when they're starting off. It's going to help you to visualize better if you're not looking at me or, the ceiling or, my carpet with, marker spots on it. So, okay, all right. From here, from this point out, I'm just going to give you some instructions that's going to guide you along the way, okay? If you follow them well, you're going to experience that same thing that everybody else experiences. So if it becomes hard for you or you find yourself falling asleep, either you're not really getting into it or you're actually falling asleep, don't worry about it. Don't beat yourself up. Just go with it the best you can to get back on track. And again, it takes some practice to do. So, are we ready? Okay. All right. So close the eyes, and we're going to focus on our breathing first. So I want you to take a deep breath. In through your nose is preferable. And out through your mouth. In through your mouth and out through your mouth is fine too. And we're just going to do that and slow down our breathing. And I'm going to turn off my music that I have out here while you do another breath. Breathing, slowing down your breathing. Because the idea here now is to slow down everything. We're going to slow down our breathing. Slow down our mind. if you can, as you're breathing in, you want to push your belly out. So you're sucking that diaphragm down as far as you can to fill your lungs up as much as you can. When you have a full, your lungs are full, you want to hold that for a second. Before you release it. And then after you release it, you wait a second before you bring it back in. So we're going to focus on our breathing for a minute. Pause. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Now what I'm going to add, keep doing what you're doing. We're going to count as we inhale and pause. And we're going to count as we exhale. So I want you to count to yourself as you inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause for 1 count, maybe 2 counts, and then exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it takes the same amount of time to inhale as it does to exhale. You're pausing for 1 or 2 counts with no breath in your lungs. You're pausing with 1 or 2 with no 1 or 2 counts with your lungs full of breath. And let's focus on your breathing and nothing else. Hear the sound of my voice and any other sound that you hear. It just helps you actually to focus on your breath. It sounds a little like breath. Another person breathing, supporting you in what you're doing. Because right now, there is nothing else in the universe that's more important than you doing this right now. Everything else in the world can wait. All the people you love are being taken care of. All the pets you love are being taken care of. They're going to be fine. They're going to be okay. A little while from now, you'll be able to get back to taking care of them. But for right now, this is about taking care of yourself. Making you a happier, healthy person. You need this time for you. You deserve this time for you. You deserve a special treat. You're giving it to yourself. Focus on breathing deeply. As deeply as you can. I ask you to keep up that same pace of breathing as you continue on it. And we're going to start with tensing or releasing the muscles below our knees. So our calves are going to fight against the muscles on the front of our ankles. The muscles on the top of our feet are going to fight against the muscles in the bottom of the feet. Sometimes people will curl their toes. Sometimes they'll straighten them out. Whichever way feels the most natural for you. And what I will do is I will count down by saying 3, 2, 1, and then you will tense them. You'll keep them tense for as long as I describe. And then I'll say 3, 2, 1, relax. And then I'll make some other suggestions to help you notice the change in your body. And then we'll do the other sections. So focused on your breathing. Keeping that nice and even. It's now become part of something you trained yourself to do just now. In just a second, we're going to start the tense and release. So now all the muscles below our knees, the calves, the muscles on the front of the ankles, the feet, we're going to start tensing those. And we're going to tense in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tense those muscles, tense them hard, keep tensing, keep tensing, keep tensing. Tense them hard, tense them hard, tense them hard. Now tense a little harder, a little harder, a little harder, and hold that, and hold that, and hold that. And now we're going to relax it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, relax. Feel the blood flowing back into your toes, and your calves, and your ankles. Feel the warmth. Feel the little electricity that's down there. Feel how it's in a little different state than it was before. Feel the warmth that returns as the blood returns. Feel how it's in a different state than it was before. A little more relaxed than it was just a minute ago. Notice the difference between the tense state you were in before and now. And now, as we breathe, when we breathe in, we see that oxygen going through the blood to our feet and to our calves, absorbing all the negative energy, turning into carbon dioxide, going back through our blood system, and being exhaled. And all the negative energy that was below our knees gets exhaled, and it rolls off our body. It rolls out the door like a fog. Down the stairs, out the front door, and down the street. As you breathe in that oxygen, goes through your bloodstream to the muscles and feet, to your feet and the muscles below your knees, absorbing all the negative energy. And then as you exhale, it rolls off your body like a fog. Out the door, down the stairs, out the front door, and down the street. Remember, there's nothing more important in the world than for you to do this right now. And now I want you to notice that your toes are turning to stone. They're turning into granite, heavy, immovable, not really connected to your brain anymore. Like in a movie, you're is turning to stone. Your feet are turning to stone. The stone's creeping up your ankles and up your calves. And now everything below your knee has turned to stone. No longer connected to your brain. No longer human, inanimate, immovable, like a statue. Heavy, stone, and completely relaxed. Focusing on your breathing, making sure it's deep, pausing, exhaling, pausing. You move to the muscles from the knee to above your hips. Those will do the same as we just did with the muscles below the knees. And we're going to tense all those muscles that weren't tense before, from the knees to just above the hips. Quadriceps, hamstrings, our glutes, everything below, just above the hips, below the waist. And we're going to tense all those in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tense the quads, tense the hams, tense your butt. Keep tensing, keep tensing, keep tensing. These are big muscle groups, so we're going to squeeze all the blood and the tension out of these. Tensing, keep tensing, keep tensing. Hold that, keep holding that, keep holding that. Keep holding it, keep squeezing. And now squeeze a little harder, a little harder, a little harder. Keep tensing, keep tensing, keep tensing. We're going to release that in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Feel the blood flowing back in to your thighs and hips. Feel the warmth, the blood rushing back in. Feel how these muscles are in a little different state than they were in before. Just feels a little bit different than it was before. It may feel very different than it did before. See that blood flowing back in, warming the area. And now as we inhale, we see that oxygen that goes through our bloodstream attaches to all the negative energy from our knees to above our hips, absorbing all the negative energy, turning into carbon dioxide, being exhaled. Like a fog rolling off our body, out the door, down the stairs, out the front door, down the street, and down the creeks to the river. All that negative energy from your calves and your feet, it's already down to the river. And this other negative energy that we've just exhaled, it's negative energy from our thighs and hips. It's already out the door, down the stairs, out the front door, down the street, following that other negative energy that's already in the river. Picture with every breath, positive oxygen filling your bloodstream, absorbing the negative energy in the thighs and hips. Being exhaled, blowing off your body like fog, out the door, down the stairs, out the door, down the street, to the river. And I want you to notice that your knees are getting heavy, like granite, like stone. Your legs are turning to stone as that stone creeps up your knees, creeps up your thighs, and is becoming solid like a statue, solid granite, immovable, no longer connected to your brain, like a statue. Now from waist down, just above your hips down, a statue, heavy, immovable. Now the torso is a little more difficult to tense because we still have to breathe as human beings, not entirely statues yet. So adapt. We'll just do it for a short time. We're going to tense the muscles of the lower back and your abdomen as best you can from above the hips to the rib cage. As best you can adapt to it and still breathe. We're going to do that in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tighten the stomach muscles in the lower back. Keep tensing, keep tensing, keep tensing. Keep breathing also. Tense, tense, tense. Keep tensing, tense a little harder, and we're going to release that in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Feel the blood flow back in there. Feel like it's a little different place than it was before. The muscles are more relaxed than they were before. With every breath, see that oxygen being positive energy that comes into your bloodstream, absorbs all the negative energy, this time from your torso. And as you exhale, that negative energy rolls off your body, out the door, down the steps, out the front door, down the street. The negative energy from your calves and feet, it's already halfway to the ocean. Halfway there. The negative energy from your thighs is a fourth of the way to the ocean. And the negative energy from your torso is already flowing down the street. With every breath, positive energy. Absorbing the negative energy. Being exhaled, going off our body, out the door, down the steps, out the front door, and down the street. Now we're going to tense the muscles that are over the rib cage and the shoulders. So your pectoralis major, your latissimus dorsi, your deltoids, your shoulder muscles, your chest, and your upper back. We're going to tense those in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tense those, tense the upper back and the chest, everything over the rib cage and the shoulders. Keep tensing, keep tensing, keep tensing. Keep tensing. We're going to do these a little longer because there's a lot of tension that's built up in there. We're going to keep tensing, and we're going to tense a little harder, a little harder, a little harder, and hold that. Keep holding, keep tensing, keep holding, keep tensing. Keep tensing, keep tensing, and we're going to release that in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Feel the blood flow back into those muscles. Feel the warmth. Feel how it's in a different state than it was a minute ago. See as you breathe in oxygen, positive oxygen, absorbing all the negative energy in your chest and your upper back and your shoulders. And as you exhale, that negative energy rolls off our body out the door, down the steps, out the front door, down the street. Negative energy from your calves and your feet is 3/4 of the way to the ocean. From your torso, it's halfway to the ocean. It's on its way to the bottom of the ocean. With every new breath, positive oxygen, absorbing negative energy in your chest and upper back and shoulders. Exhaled, blowing off her chest, out the door, down the stairs, out the front door, and down the street. And now that we're on our chest, we're going to notice our torso and chest and upper back and shoulders turning to granite. The miracle about the granite of our torso, where our tummy is it's breathable, movable granite. No longer part of our brain, no longer attached to our brain, but it breathes. That's how we keep breathing, with that miraculous granite. So now we've turned the stone up to our belly button. It's gradually turning to stone up to our ribcage. That stone that can breathe. And now our back, our ribcage, turning to stone to our shoulders, turning to stone, heavy, granite, like a statue, inanimate, no longer attached to our brain. Now we're going to do our forearms and hands. Two different ways we can clench our hands. You can either clench them closed like a fist, or you can clench them open like you're dropping a hot potato. So the muscles from our elbows down, our forearms and our hands, we're going to tense those. Tense them either as a clenched fist or an open hand. And we're going to tense those. When we release them, we'll drop them and let them be wherever they happen to drop. And eventually they'll turn to stone also. So we're going to tense our forearms and hands in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tense the forearms and hands. Keep tensing, keep tensing, keep tensing. Tense them hard, tense them hard. If you have any hand problems, don't tense them so hard that you hurt yourself, but tense them as hard as you can without hurting. Keep tensing, keep tensing, keep tensing. Now tense a little harder, a little harder. Sometimes we keep a lot of tension in our hands and forearms. Keep tensing, keep tensing, keep tensing. Squeeze all that blood out. Keep tensing, and we're going to release in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. Let your hands fall where they will. Feel the blood flow back in. Feel the warmth. Sometimes you get a little after tremor. It's very natural. As you breathe in, see that oxygen. Positive, absorbing all the negative energy in the forearms and hands. And as you exhale, all that negative energy in your forearms and hands rolls off your body out the door. Down the steps, out the front door, and down the street to the creek. The negative energy from your calves and feet has just reached the ocean. From your torso, it's halfway to the ocean. Some of the negative energy from your hands and forearms is already in the creek. Every new breath, positive oxygen. Filling our bloodstream, absorbing the negative energy in the hands and forearms. Being exhaled. Like a fog that rolls off our body. Out the door. Down the steps, out the front door. Down the street. Now we're going to do our upper arms, our biceps and triceps. I suggest you do your deltoids again, your shoulders again, and your trapezius, which is the muscle at the back of your neck. If you feel like doing those again, that'd be great. If not, that's okay too. Just do the bicep, tricep. I'll go ahead and speak to all the muscles. And we'll do that next set coming out. First, notice your fingers have turned to stone. Granite. Heavy. Inanimate. No longer connected to your brain. Stone creeping up your hands to your wrists and forearms. From the wrist down. Statue. Granite. Heavy. No longer connected to your brain. Inanimate object. Now you turn to stone from the elbows down. To the biceps and triceps, shoulders and trapezius again if you like. We're going to do those in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tense your bicep, tricep. Keep tensing, keep tensing, keep tensing, keep tensing. Biceps, triceps, shoulders, and trapezius. Keep tensing, keep tensing. Tense a little harder, a little harder, a little harder, a little harder. Squeeze out all that negative energy. Squeeze out all the blood. Keep squeezing, keep squeezing. And a little harder, and hold that. Keep tensing. And we're going to release in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Feel how your arms and shoulders are in a different position than they were before. Relaxed. Feel the blood flowing into your biceps and triceps and shoulders. Feel the warmth. See every breath is positive energy. Fills your bloodstream, absorbs all the negative energy in your upper arms and shoulders. And as exhaled, rolls off your body out the door, down the steps out the door, down the street, down the creek, and down the river. Negative energy from your feet is racing to the bottom of the ocean, thousands of feet deep under the water, and thousands of miles away. With every breath, positive energy, absorbing negative. Now we're going to do our face muscles. First thing we're going to do is we're going to close our eyes even tighter. We're going to clench our chin, not so much clench our jaw, not so much that it hurts. We're bringing all the muscles of our face towards the front of our face, clenching our face. Keep a lot of tension in our forehead. We're going to tighten that muscle and all the muscles in the face. That's the next thing. As you notice your upper arms getting heavy because they're turning to stone. Your elbows out, heavy, immovable, no longer connected to your body. Now from the neck down, you're a statue. You're a head, nothing else. Now with the muscles of the face, clench our eyes tight, clench our jaw, bring all those muscles tight in our face. We're going to do that in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Clench your face, clench it tight, clench your jaw, clench your eyes tight shut, and all your muscles in your face tight. Keep clenching, clenching. Clench a little harder, a little harder, a little harder. Keep tensing, a little harder, and hold that. We're going to release that in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Feel like a different person with this facial expression because it's different than it was before. Feel the blood flow back in. Feel the warmth. See all the oxygen that's in your bloodstream. Absorbing all the negative energy in your face. And exhaling. One more thing with our face. Let our head drop back a little bit because we're going to take the muscles of our face the other way. We're going to open our mouths, we're going to open our eyes. As you open your eyes, just don't focus, but just gaze at a point in the ceiling. So we're going to open our mouth and pull all the muscles of our face the other way. Open wide. So we're going to do the muscles that way. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Open wide. Wide. Keep tensing. Open wide. Don't focus hard, just lightly. And keep tensing. A little harder, a little harder. I'm going to release that in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Eyes closed again. Head balanced on your shoulders or back, either way. Feel how much different your head muscles feel and your facial expression feels after doing that. Completely different. Feel the blood flow back in and warmth. Feel the oxygen absorbing all the negative energy. With every breath, negative energy rolling off your body, out the door. Down the steps, out the front door, down the street to the creek. The negative energy from your calves and feet is thousands of miles deep in the bottom of the ocean, circulating in the under-ocean currents, thousands of miles away, thousands of feet underwater. With every breath, positive oxygen, positive energy, absorbing all the negative energy that flows. And now our neck is turning to stone, heavy, granite. Our face, our lips, our nose and ears, our eyes, our foreheads, to the crown of our head. And now our body is a complete statue. Heavy, immovable, no longer connected to our brain. All that's left of you is a brain, mind. And with this mind, I want you to imagine a beach, maybe a beach if you don't like the sun too much, maybe a forest. If the forest is too dark for you, maybe a tropical paradise. Tropical paradise is too hot, maybe an open field. it's too wide open. Maybe you see mountains. Maybe you're in the mountains. Maybe you've been to a place. It's the perfect place for you. Maybe you created it in your own mind. It's a nature scene. And you go there now with your mind and be all there and not at all here. So go to that place, and the first thing I want you to notice is the temperature is perfect. Not too hot, not too cold. Your favorite perfect. White clothes, you may not even need any clothes, but it's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Not too hot, not too cold. With just a little bit of a breeze. Even with that, it's not too hot and not too cold. Any strong winds. It's a very gentle, gentle breeze. Now I'll have you look at the sky and notice how gorgeous the sky looks. It's a perfect, perfect shade of blue. A shade of blue that just makes you smile because it's so perfect. Perfect temperature, perfect breeze, perfect sky. See it. And be all there and not at all here. Next thing I want you to notice is where you're standing or sitting. Maybe you're sitting on a chair you made. Maybe you're sitting in the sand in a little pocket that you created with your mind. Maybe you're sitting on a stump in the forest. Maybe you're sitting on a rock in the tropical paradise or the open field or the mountains. You're sitting relaxed. Notice what you're sitting on. Feel it a little bit with your mind's hands. Feel how smooth the texture is. Feel how solid it is. Solid, serene, safe. And just feel it sitting there. Now I want you to start looking around and see the details of what you see. If you're at an ocean, you see the ocean. You see the sand. You see some palm trees, some plants. In the forest, you see trees, ferns. In the tropical paradise, you see beautiful flowers, waterfall. Open field or mountains, you see prairie flowers, grasses, maybe rocks, maybe some snow-capped mountains. I want you to add a number of things as you look around you. Mind's eye. See what you see. Take note of what you see. The beautiful things that you see in this safe, happy place. You see animals, they're harmless. Any other creatures you see there, anything moving, it's harmless, you're safe. In fact, not just harmless, but beautiful. Peaceful. Serene. Note what you see. Now take notice of what you hear. On the beach, you hear the ocean. You're in the forest. You hear birds, maybe animals, woodpeckers. You hear the wind, the breeze, moving the trees, and the leaves and the pine needles rubbing together, making that sound gently. Tropical paradise, maybe you hear a waterfall, a river, a pool. Note of what you hear. Birds, other fauna, wind. See how beautiful it is. Safe, serene, happy. Now I want you to touch something that you see, maybe the sand beneath your feet, beneath your chair, maybe the dirt, maybe some ferns, maybe some trees, maybe some water in the pool or the waterfall or the river. Feel it. Notice what it feels like. Being all there and not at all here. Feel what that feels like. Notice again the things you see, the things you hear, the things you feel. Add to that the things you smell. The smell of the ocean, the sand, the flowers, the pine, the wheat field, spring scent of the mountains, rarefied air, pine, fresh and crisp. Take a deep breath through your nose and smell that. Awesome. Beautiful. Relaxing. Now, I'm going to take a couple of steps down a stairway to relax our mind, to sit for a minute, maybe two, in silent meditation. This is the stairway that we go down. Every time I say a number, counting backwards from 100. Every time I say the next number, your mind is twice as relaxed as it was before. Half the tension. Hard to even imagine right now because there's so little tension. But with every number, your mind becomes twice as relaxed. 99. Twice as relaxed. Half the tension. Notice how relaxed your mind is. As we double the relaxation, cut the tension in half again. 98. And it's even more relaxed. Twice as much. Even half the tension. Twice as relaxed again. 97. Twice as relaxed. Half the tension. Down the stairway. 96. Again, twice as relaxed. Half the tension. Mind is getting so relaxed, the numbers almost don't have meaning anymore. 95. Twice as relaxed. Half the tension. 94. Twice as relaxed. I want you to take a minute. Practice either sitting on the bottom of the ocean, letting your thoughts go into a bubble up to the top, or Golden Gate Bridge, putting your thoughts into a car, letting them go across. I'm going to be silent for a minute and let your spirit take you where it wants to go. Doing what you're doing. If you have a hard time doing it, keep trying. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. And now, consciously, before you come back, bring something with you back from the state that you're in. Notice something you want to bring back with you. It could be as simple as a feeling of peace, a feeling of security. It could be a thought. It could be some strength. It could be a picture. Something relaxing and peaceful the universe just gave you. Bring the gift back with you as you slowly walk back in your mind from the place you were at to the room. Bring back some pictures, some So as you come back, you'll have something to share for a minute with everyone. Come back at your own pace. And open your eyes when you're ready. Jeff doesn't want to come back.
Couch isn't very comfortable.
Butt a little tight now.
Yeah.
How was that?
Good.
Was good.
Anybody relaxed? Anybody more relaxed than when they got here? Okay. Jeff's butt hurts and he's more relaxed.
You hear traffic.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Lori's trying to not feel like stone. Stretch those things out again. Your muscles feel like they're in a little different place than they were before. Should be just a little bit. What scene? What scene did you have? What was your scene?
Mountains in Colorado
Ah,
with a running brook.
place that you've been to before?
Yeah. And the traffic, I just kind of fitted in at the hotel we were staying at, which was right at
Ah,
the running brook,
okay.
and there was traffic, so
Mm-hmm.
I went with it.
Those sounds are always the hardest things to get away. In fact, if you found that you're not hearing, if you notice you're not hearing those anymore,
I think they're asleep.
you're asleep. Yeah. What was your scene like?
I couldn't sustain one.
Okay. Takes practice. What did you try for? Bermuda?
Oh no.
No, okay. What did you try for?
I like the forest and a pond. But when I close my eyes, I can always see, I don't know what it is, it's the blood or whatever.
Ah.
And so I just mostly concentrate on that, just go
Mhm.
with the flow.
Okay. Okay. It does take some practice to bring that scene into reality and experience it. It does. What was your scene?
It was sunset, but there was a beach, but it was sunset,
Okay.
and my mind, I don't know, I had too many thoughts, too much thinking.
Ah, okay.
So it was hard, but then
Okay.
I just kind of felt like I wasn't thinking anything at one moment. Like there was just
Awesome.
nothing. Like I was just kind of just.
Nothing. And was that after the 99, 98, 97, 96? Or was that before?
It was before.
Okay. Okay. That's awesome. If you can get to the point where your mind is so relaxed you're not thinking anything. Beautiful. Yeah. Okay.
What happened now?
Usually there's a lot of things
Kind
going
of
through
out
there.
of body or something.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. That's the idea. We turn to stone. We get out of our bodies. We go to for me it's a place that I camped in the Olympic Mountains. There's this open field in the middle of this giant forest, and there's the Elwha River going there. That's where I go all the time. So the idea is to be all there, not here. It's definitely an out-of-body experience. Okay? What was your scene?
Mine was the ocean.
Okay.
But it was hard not to be doing something. You know, when you said to sit, it was hard not, because when I first pictured it, I was in the ocean walking around and buildings. I mean, and then you said to sit, and it was hard to sit.
I should have just let you build sandcastles and wander around the ocean.
Oh, I thought the idea was to be still. Oh.
Not necessarily. Yeah. So, when you're doing that, the things that feel natural for you to do, go ahead and do them. This stuff that I say is just a guide for that kind of thing. So what'd you bring back? I was bring back just like a basket of peace.
I didn't bring back anything.
You didn't bring back anything?
No, because I was kind of scrambling. It's like, I want to take that, want to take that, want to take that. So I just
Didn't have a feeling to bring back, did
I
you?
grabbed my dog, I guess.
Brought your dog back. Okay.
Let's go.
Awesome. Dog, nature. You can have your dog with you. Absolutely. Absolutely. Your dog probably doesn't have any negative influence on you at all. You know? Even when the dog poops or eats your favorite, you know,
It's an animal.
homework or eats your favorite child, whatever.
I
You
had
still
deer.
love your dog.
Yeah, I didn't have my dog in there, but I had deer.
You had deer. Okay.
And then my mind just kind of started going.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Did you bring a feeling back at all? Is there a feeling you brought back?
Just, I don't know, be more at peace. Seems like ever since that burglary, I'm just
Mm.
a lot
Tense.
just a lot of anger. You know, I look at people and it's like, was that you? You know, it just it's violated.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it stays with you. It
It's a
pisses
loss.
you off.
So did this help bring some peace? Did this
Yeah.
get rid of that anger a
I
little bit?
just, yeah,
Awesome.
just put a big dome over
Awesome.
my house. That's where I kept picturing. And
Awesome.
then the bubbles, I like that. I was just kind of, it's like putting people in there like, you did it. Get out of here.
Awesome.
You know.
Good.
That's about all I could think of.
Awesome.
That's what was on my mind.
That's great. Did you bring back something, Lori?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
What'd you bring back?
I'm a good person.
You brought back, I'm a good person. Awesome. Absolutely. I totally believe it. I totally believe we were all created good. My Bible view of the world, God created this and it was good. He created this and it was good. He created this and it was good. It was good. You're good. You know the first thing that God made that he said, looked at and said it was bad? Bible trivia. Man alone. It is not good for man to be alone. I shall make him a woman. What'd you bring back with you?
I guess just a feeling. Just a feeling of
What's the
like
feeling?
freedom, peace at the time. I just
Freedom.
felt free.
Peace.
And it's hard to, like the cars and the bubbles, and it was hard to let stuff go,
Mhm.
pop.
Mhm.
But they're there.
Mhm.
It didn't like cloud anything or make me upset. I guess for some reason it was just everything's just there.
Okay.
But I just kind of put myself outside of everything. Just
Mhm.
walked
Yeah.
away from it and just felt free.
All that stuff can be there and you can still be free. The world can be an imperfect place and you can still be free. Sherry, what'd you bring back?
I brought back a shell that I can rub when I'm worried because I'm extremely tactile.
Awesome.
So, just a little shell that I
Cool.
can, if I'm worried or upset.
And I should have mentioned, bringing back something material with you like that is a great thing to do. So as you go through the day tomorrow and you're about to lose it on one of your 8-year-olds, picture that in your mind and feel it. In fact, it might scare the little guys if you're like,
Yes, James.
okay. Oh, and it's like 7:43. So, yeah. awesome if you can bring back something that you can feel, see, maybe even hear. If you're an audio person, you can kind of, hear that. And if that's a piece of something you bring back, that's a great way to calm down as you see stress starting to build or things starting to go wrong during the day. That would scare the crap out of your kids, actually. Your kids would be thinking, oh my God, she's crazy.
She's not
I'll try
saying
it.
anything.
I
Why
know.
isn't she saying anything?
She's just staring at her fingers.
What would they do?
I'll let you know next week.
8-year-olds.
I'll let you know.
Tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I'll let you know.
Mrs. Neve, are you okay?
Mrs. Neve, Mrs. Neve, Mrs. Neve, Mrs. Neve, Mrs. Neve.
That'd be awesome.
I hate my name now. Not really.
Okay, how was this? Can you see how this could replace pot? Can you see how this can replace alcohol?
I gotta be honest. So I mean, when
It's
I
hard.
first got to that place, I was picturing pot there.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
It's
what I
natural.
did before up in the mountains of Colorado.
It's natural.
I mean, it was like, and then you got nine. It was like, whoa.
Now, dude,
We're in the mountains. Look at these.
check this out.
I
If
mean,
you
that kept
go,
popping in my head, and
Now-
I'm like, no.
I don't think that's necessarily bad. Now, I don't do that, but here's an idea. If you did this and went to the mountains in Colorado and saw some perfect bud growing, and you popped off some and put it in a pipe and smoked it, I'll bet you would start to feel high. And if you did that before you went to bed and woke up the next day and had to pee in a cup, you wouldn't be dirty. Right?
Better not be.
Yeah. If you are, I got to write a paper on that. Okay.
Mind over matter.
But I'll bet you, if you went there and smoked some, I'll bet you would. I'm starting to feel a little high right now just thinking about that.
Very visual.
If whatever you have felt before, if you have felt it once, you have the capacity to feel it again, and you don't have to get there the same way. Because if your brain's been there before, through the medication, then you can get there with the power of your mind. Jeff, if it helps to go to Colorado and smoke some bud in your mind.
No, I wasn't planning on going there. I mean, it just,
Oh, no, in your mind.
yeah, I know in my
Yeah.
mind.
Okay. I just
I wasn't planning that.
They're
It's
just trying to
just, it
separate
popped up.
this.
It's like all of a sudden I look down at my hand and there's a pipe, and I'm just
Okay.
like, ooh, okay.
Okay. I'm not sure that'd be a horrible thing.
No, I mean,
I don't know. So.
it's just something that I used to like to do, and
Mhm.
I happen to do it in my
Mhm.
happy place that I picked.
You know, I love
So-
doing this because there's something new every time. There's usually 2 or 3 new things that I never thought of before. So yeah, smoking weed in your meditation. That's a wow.
That's a thought.
And yeah,
Pop's gonna be doing it now.
I don't. I'm not sure if
No,
I
he's
could do
not.
that. I might feel guilty.
Oh.
I don't know. Well, I gotta try it now.
Yeah.
You know, I
Yeah.
gotta try it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's all for tonight. So,
I'll just
Would you guys mind if I joined?
pay
then?
next Tuesday.